We are back here at the LCK 2020 Spring for KT versus SANDBOX. We're nearing the end of the split, and every single game does matter. But unfortunately for SANDBOX, losing that first one against KT, they might be going down towards relegation step by step, whereas KT, with the win to start us off, are looking good to potentially make it into playoffs if they can finish off the series. And with how clean they played in game number 1, I would be surprised if they did not take game number 2.
Oh yeah, I mean, I knew that Riot Games is making a lot of new games like FPS, Valorant, or card games, or Legend of Runeterra, but I didn't know that they are making also racing game from the league-based. That was the KT Misfortune, the game name. That was impressive performance and not 100% clean, but still we could see the difference between those teams, so it's still great. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, for sure. KT's showing and proving to everybody that they seem to be the better team, not only in the game but also in the draft. I think the draft was very well established by them, especially that 5th pick, Ornn. As Kuro is going to pick up the player of the game. It really was between him and Bono, I believe, as the two players that did the most in this game, as that will be Kuro's 5th player of the game that he does pick up.
And today, all the players that I voted is getting POGs, so it feels great. And yeah, at the same time, supporters, man. I mean, his role was mid lane, but he was definitely support in this game, considering his KDA right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so great that I didn't hear any annoying team calls by Kuro while listening to their team communications, because normally some annoying mid laners are just calling all the time, I have W, I have W, I have W, for no reason. But I'm glad that Kuro is not one of that player, so that's the main reason why I voted him, you know.
Okay, great. As good a reason as any other reason. As Kuro did pick up 6 out of 9 votes. All the other 3 people, myself including 2 observers, did vote for Bono. All the Korean cast, including you, I suppose, worked together on the same team, voting for Kuro. And yeah, just it does make sense that the 2 of them were the focal points of that composition. Bono for getting it started, Kuro for being clean, especially that just rewatching the highlight where the Aatrox was coming in. He first stuns with the double bomb and then slows and then reses Bono. It's like basically the perfect Zilean play in that moment. So
yeah, and also his really ultimate was so clean, you know?
Yeah. Every time, like right at the last second too, because it's, if you make it too obvious, then you can just switch targets or potentially back away or do something like that. But if you do it right at the last second, then that will be the best way to play that Zilean. And I'm expecting going into game number 2 that although SANDBOX were on the blue side for game number 1, I think we will see more focus on some of those champions. I don't think you can just give that composition away again. But we'll have to wait and see what happens here as SANDBOX are on red.
Ah, man. That makes harder for the SANDBOX, because on the red side, there is so many champions that you have to ban. Like Aphelios and Senna, probably Kalista as well, if you are afraid to give them free Kalista. So, and Senna as well. So there's so many bans that you have to do that. So probably they're just getting so confused if they have to ban those competition again, or they can pick it up either, because on the red side you can pick up 2. So even though they get Misfortune, they can have Zilean. But can you blind pick Zilean? So there is so many questions going around to SANDBOX and KT side. They don't need to try random stuffs. All they need to do is just have a great first pick, like Varus. Even though they played good against the Varus pick. Yeah, they can also ban it as well and looking for that competition again. But I'm not sure what are they looking for. Most of the AD carries are banned, so are they gonna first pick Misfortune?
Ooh.
Oh my god! They did that.
Yeah. Pro gamer, by the way.
Oh, predictions.
On the cast. Clean prediction for KT. You know, Trundle was banned, so Trundle very, very popular as a first pick, but they take that away, and they don't favor Bono by first picking a Jarvan for him. They say, nope, with all the 80 carries, we'd like to take away Misfortune. And you were exactly correct.
Yeah, and then you cannot just take away Zillion here, you know? Because I don't think you can just blind pick Zillion, then Zillion can be really OP mid laner, just randomly, eventually. So they're just picking Nautilus, probably for the bot side, to play against Misfortune in the lane aggressively. So they are picking it. Oh, change it to Israel. Why? I mean, why actually?
Oh no!
I mean, they don't even manage to have mid laning with Azir and Varus, and they're picking Israel. I cannot have a good comment on that, and they're picking Nautilus as well, which is I really hate it because it feels like it has no color anymore, you know?
Yeah.
It's like other champions like Taric, you have some utilities with the ultimate and healing, and he attack and protect at the same time. And Yumi, you can give some movement speed and healing, and in the late game you can deal damage. But in this meta, I feel like Nautilus is one of the champions that you pick it if you are not sure about your champion pool, or not sure what to pick. I mean, we can say it's good into Yumi, but I really don't feel like SANDBOX can punish Yumi enough, because even if they had Azir and Varus and Rek'Sai, they couldn't manage to dive as 4-man on the bot side when they had Misfortune Yumi. So I do not trust them. And also they have Israel, which is not that great in the early game. Everything is seems bad for the SANDBOX right now, but they banned Zillion at least, so
yeah,
it's fine.
That's a good start for them.
Good start for sure.
Yeah. I was wondering if maybe they were going to ban away something like Karma as well, to take like a similar kind of like solo lane support-ish kind of character, but instead they would rather target Kuro with the LeBlanc. And that Sylas ban is kind of tickling the back of my brain. I wonder if they're just going to go for Ornn again, kind of like a blind pick.
Oh, and also maybe Kuro can just go for Lulu or Karma, because you know that Karma Olaf was kind of meta.
Yeah,
back in the day, mid jungle. Oh man,
we're on the same page here with it.
Yeah, Lulu or Karma mid and Ornn top lane. Ooh, man,
so good.
And you have Olaf this time, so Bono can actually just run in and kill everyone.
It actually does look good, and I wonder, SANDBOX is going to read into it and say, okay, we'll take the Ornn then.
Then Karma and Lulu at the same time? Top Lulu or top Karma and mid dirty. Lulu? That's dirty, but they're not dirty enough to do that, I guess.
Not quite.
Yep, I mean, Azir is still a great pick. And they banned for Azir actually. I think they were thinking too much, so they banned LeBlanc and Zillion, but they didn't pick mid lane, and they just picked Ornn away. So this is kind of easy Azir pick for the top lane, and also this one looks good, man. KT composition looks like so OP. Maybe not that champion. Maybe not that one. Okay. I mean, understandable, because with Yumi, you know, it can be really impactful, because Israel cannot build the health. I actually forgot the item name because I didn't play in English client for a long time right now. So that 800 gold health.
Kindle gem?
No. The 80 item. That
The 80 item that's
decrease
800.
the healing.
Oh, isn't that like 900 gold? The what is it called? Vampiric Scepter? Like the lifesteal item?
Executioners, exactly.
Oh,
I'm really
okay.
sorry, viewers.
Oh, reduces the healing. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So,
I also failed you.
I'm really sorry, viewers, because I'm in Korea for a long time right now, and I didn't play an English client for a long while too, so I was kind of confused. But anyways, keep talking. Israel cannot build executioners early, and it's pretty bad for Israel. So it's gonna be really hard to play against that competition in the early game, because normally when you play against Aatrox, Olaf, Yuumi, those kind of champion, most of the AD carries just builds executioners early, and it seems like there is no Morello champions either. LS is gonna be happy, but anyways. Corki also executioners, not that great item. Maybe Orin can build Bramble Bust, but yeah. In general, their composition looks so much better, KT. So all they need to do is just keep their performance as game 1 and just straight to the playoffs by themselves.
Yeah. Would like to agree. I think if they can do what they did in game 1, even though the draft is slightly different, they still have a similar kind of idea where they're just going straight forward. They have a lot of fast champions that will run straight into you. They have guys that are willing to get down and dirty a little bit more, differently from Zilean, who likes to keep his distance and just speed up only the MF. This time the Yuumi will have multiple targets, such as the Olaf, obviously, and Aatrox, and of course aiming to help out her 80 carry. And so that'll be interesting to see if SANDBOX, they played against something similar in game number 1. They change up their composition. We get Azir versus Corki again. It has come back into the meta, thankfully. I know everybody loves this composition. It's so exciting.
Oh, yeah?
To watch the farming in the mid lane.
I mean, also that matters a lot, by the way. No executioners for the early game. When it comes to skirmishes around the early Dregs and Herald against Olaf, Yuumi, Aatrox, those kind of champions, I don't feel like SANDBOX has great game plan or great team composition. And maybe they have really, really great late game with the Israel and then Corki and Orin at the same time, but I don't think they can reach to that point, So, and also I already compared Azir and Corki. Yes, those two kind of champions are just showing so many times Azir Corki. But I really feel like Azir is so much better in this meta, because he's stronger early than Corki. Maybe he loses in the late game, but anyways, early game matters so much after the plate goal change, and early game drag rotation is so important as well. So I really think Kuro can control 1v2 on the mid lane, and he should able to convert the pressure to bot lane to help Yuumi and Miss Fortune having a great time on the bot lane, and it seems like it already. And this is already a good signal for them, because all they need to do is just make it safe for the early game, And when they group as 5, they synergize it really well. So just do not have some accident moments in the early game, and everything is gonna be fine.
Yeah, just smooth sailing into the mid game would be the ideal position for KT, and then begin to take some fights with the composition that they do have. It's Cloud Drake first, which that means we're not going to have a Cloud Soul in this game, so we should have more fighting, more action over the Drakes, which I think is not so great for SANDBOX. If they could sit back and wait for like a long time, I feel like they'd be in a pretty happy spot, but with that Cloud Drake coming up first, does leave the question open.
And maybe this game we can have a nap for like 20 minutes because they're having both like a kind of late game team competition, so they might do not fight until like 20 minutes, you know. And
maybe we can just turn on some elevator music and hang out in the chat for a little bit, not do our jobs, just chill out.
Yeah, just chill out, you know, and maybe you can do some homework if you have to do that. And yeah, I mean, everything is so smooth. Both teams is gonna like think that, yeah, we are fine. Just do not have any random moments, as what he mentioned it.
Yeah.
Just go 5-5, keep farming, wait for the moment that we win, and just give up what we have to, and wait for the moment. And yeah,
maybe you can.
It seems like both teams are like just farming, you know? Just look at their positioning, like they're just farming.
Nobody is really trying to take any trades at all.
Yeah.
I mean, which I feel like isn't great for Nautilus as well.
It's not great for Nautilus, but it's still maybe good for SANDBOX, you know, because they have Israel and Corki and Orange. So that's why I'm expecting no kills until 20 minutes, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, sit back, maybe load up a game of Runeterra.
Oh,
League of Runeterra, you know?
No, it's a Legend of Runeterra.
Legends of Runeterra? Oh,
Legend
yeah,
of Runeterra and Valorant, and there is, I don't know, oh yeah, there is a TFT mobile Dududunga as well.
Oh yeah,
you know?
never forget.
Oh, never forget, by the way.
Yeah.
So if you are kind of bored to watch this game, then just turn on the Dududunga, and maybe this game looks really intense.
Maybe
that
you
might
just play the
help a
song
bit.
in the background on repeat, it makes the game
Yeah.
more fun.
Yeah, for sure, maybe. And maybe this trade looks like really intense, but nothing is gonna happen because Aatrox is just tickling Oren. And Jarvan is farming as well. And Olaf is not looking for the kill. He's looking for the vision control as well. And he's gonna farm a Scarlet Crab. And nothing's gonna happen. And we can queue up for TFT right here.
Don't play a game of Valorant though. Those games take a little bit longer than you would expect.
For sure, yeah.
They take like 35 minutes, 40 minutes sometimes. Depends on how close the game is. But for the chat, guys, sorry, we're not giving out drops. I'm sure a lot of you don't have access just yet, but either way.
Ah, that's so sad, man.
Yeah, sorry guys. It was pretty fun though. I've been enjoying playing it in my free time.
Yeah, they just got the Cloud Drake.
Nice.
Wow.
That's good.
That was really soulless, by the way.
Yeah. Wow. Awesome. And this means that with the Ocean Drake spawning,
Oh my gosh, man! Look at their items, man. They have 2 tiers.
Double
and
tier, yeah.
full.
this is how it always used to be. Back in the
Oh
day
my
when Corki Azir
gosh.
was every single game. This would
I mean-
happen because Ezreal was also meta. And it was just like, oh, double tier again. Great.
I hope Ornn is also building tier. Then this game might be more fun to watch. You know?
Interesting idea. What do you think you would go for? Would you go for the Manamune or for the for the Archangels? What do you think?
Both items sucks. For Ornn.
I know.
Just for fun, you know. I mean, this
Yeah,
game is
just
gonna
do
be
it.
farming for 25 minutes. I mean, I was thinking that maybe farming for 20 minutes, but when I saw 2 tiers on the SANDBOX side, then it's gonna be 25 minutes probably.
Yeah. The time changed.
The time changes.
Yeah. No Zillion or Echo in this one, but there's 2 tiers, which makes the difference even more.
Why am I watching Azir and Corki in 2020?
Yeah.
By the
I
way.
know. You know, Echo wasn't banned. That could have
Yeah?
been a pick
I mean,
that they went
I'm
for.
glad that Riot Games is making so many games and like expanding their. Oh yeah, finally there is maybe some fight.
GG.
Izuri is tipping in with the Corki package ending.
Yeah, they, okay. We
In
got
there.
some action here. They're grouping up for this one. You can see the eye was hit, and now Bono's in position, but it is going to go the way of On Fleek. On Fleek just wants to get it and get out of there, as the flag and drag will be able to do that. He gets away, and nobody dies.
No one died there. I mean, that was really great play by SANDBOX, by the way, because all the pressure that KT had was kind of easy to make them have all the controls of the objectives. But somehow SANDBOX sneaked the header right there, so that's still great. And the usage of the header is gonna handle the game for the early game, at least on the SANDBOX side. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen after that. At least we had some intense moment right there.
Yes, very intense. Very close. We almost had the 1 kill. The Smite war was won by On Fleek. Bono did mess that up a little bit. He did the reckless swing into Smite, but he did it too early. So it looked like it survived with about 100 health. And then On Fleek just smited it himself.
Oh yeah.
So they just took it away. And it is going to be Infernal or Mountain as the Drakes here. I feel like Infernal going to be probably favored by both of these compositions. Just add extra damage to all their carries and their scaling that they do have. Although I suppose Mountain for the side of KT wouldn't be so bad, because they have a lot of healing, so all the effective HP with the resistances and the healing makes them so tanky that it can have like a mini Ocean Soul effect, although Ocean Soul is probably 18 billion times better. But still, could be okay. I feel like pretty even in terms of who would like it over the other, in terms of the potential soul spawns.
And there's one interesting thing in this game, because as I mentioned it, no one can build the Morello or somebody's looking for it.
Whoa. A gank right now? No. I love your reaction every time.
I mean,
It's like,
I was...
no, come on.
Yeah. I mean, almost, you know? And I do not have to, like, explain some random stuff, you know? Then I would be really happy. But anyways, I just wanted to spotlight that Summit is not building Rumble Blast, which is so important when it comes to the team fights right now in the early game, because I don't feel like Israel or Corki can build the executioners early, and it's gonna matter a lot in the early skirmishes and team fight. When you play against Olaf, and I've mentioned this so many times again and again and again, because yeah, this game, no kills, already 12 minutes, second Drake, and they're just gonna give up for free. And Corki is resetting at the same time, so everything we can see right now is On Fleek's header. So, oh yeah, unsynced.
Yeah, Gorilla is a little bit too far ahead.
Oh, man?
He's just gonna die to Yuumi, although the MF does get a bit out of position here, and it's just gonna make the bait, actually, for the side of On Fleek and Root, as Kuro is coming in. Just going to get that Emperor's Divide down, as 2 kills will go the way of KT already. And, wow, able to turn that one around big time, as the team down on the bottom side for SANDBOX were not playing together.
Yeah, exactly. Gorilla is like, wake up, viewers, you're making some kills. And finally, there was some kills, but not on the SANDBOX side. He kind of engaged for himself, you know, to die. So that was a pretty bad moment. It was really unsynced, and it was not great to go in there, because yeah, I mean, On Fleek was hitting Ward, and they KT knew that Jarvan was there because he already checked the vision with the E skill flag. So he was just supposed to have some vision clear and just get the vision control again, but Gorilla was like kind of mad and angry because of the kind of boring game right now. But yeah, I mean, I can see that, you know. I don't feel like Nautilus is gonna be happy with 0 kills on the bot side when he specially picked the Nautilus into Yumi, you know.
Yeah.
So
Your only purpose as a Nautilus is to throw your giant anchor and kill people. But if you can't do that, then you're not living as a Nautilus. You're not happy in
by
your
the way,
life.
yeah, is Heather actually expired? It actually happened, by the way.
Yeah,
Heather is sleeping.
wait.
Even
what?
Heather is sleeping.
She went to sleep? No. Only the viewers are allowed to do that.
Oh my god.
Did they really not use her at all?
I mean,
Maybe
I
we
didn't
missed it somewhere
see
and it just got killed or something? I don't... Because now the plates are down, so now we can't even check the plates.
I mean, it's like the full HP, so probably not that impactful.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if he used it, but I didn't hear her screaming in the Summer's Rift, so probably not.
True.
And she's right there again. You know?
They're going to feel bad about that. Really bad. Because that would be a ticket to try to fight back against this early lead that KT does have. But now there's no plates. And
Yeah.
in fact, the first turret is also going to go the way of KT. Because SANDBOX, a bit out of position to take down Shirley, and it's definitely not going to be worth as much as this first turret in the bottom side.
탱크 지울게. 네?
안돼 안돼.
Oh, okay. So Gorilla is like saying, I'm gonna use Q, and at the same time, Onflick said, I'm clearing water. And it's like, no, we cannot do this.
괜찮아 난 괜찮아.
I think I'm gonna die too.
아 나도 죽었어.
I died too,
괜히
man.
괜히.
I think that play was really not great. And they're like, their communication is kind of down as well. So
Yeah.
I feel really sad about it. But at the same time, I'm pretty mad to SANDBOX because they picked kind of really unnecessary late game team comp against the KT. Because I don't feel like KT kind of team is I mean KT kind of team can definitely end with the early game snowball, right? And you saw what happens if you let them have all the objectives and the control in the early game. You just get stomped. But after that game won, they still picked the late game team comp, even more late game team comp this game. And yeah, I mean this is just kind of awful performance by SANDBOX in general.
Yeah, that's definitely one way to put it. And I think, you know, it's not common that we would actually highlight the losing part of the team fights comms, because generally, of course, they're not going to be very positive, right? And I think the point of that from, you know, the production side was just to show why they were so separated and not playing as a team. And it's because the voice comms actually were showing that, hey, they were disagreeing at the moment in time and they were not playing together. And so that was the reason. As we have another fight here, great teleport flank coming in as they just dunk Root in the pack line. See you later, buddy. As no more AD carry in the bottom side. They still do have the Corki, but he's being zoned by the Aatrox. Trying desperately to do something, but cannot do anything at all. 3 kills already as the slow is going to go down onto Summit. Double kill for the MF. And Wadid, it does feel like this game is certainly taking a turn for the worse for SANDBOX, and KT should be moving on to the playoffs from here.
Yeah. GG, boys. That's simple, you know?
Yeah.
And look at the
Good analysis.
look at the Sohan TP position. One shot of Israel with the Q flash, the timing. That was just so perfect and clean. And they have no damage, by the way. Like Aatrox is healing for 200 years already. And they have no healing reduction.
200 years of healing. Oh no.
I mean, it's like, it's so impossible to win the team fight. And yeah, I mean, it's just, they can just go next, but there is no next, you know? So that makes so sad.
Yeah. well, they might have a little bit of extra next if they do make it into the relegation series. Something we don't always talk about. It's a very unfortunate situation where a lot of teams are on vacation, but the teams that actually have to go to the relegation are playing extra hard for their lives in the LCK as pro gamers. It's extremely stressful. It's not easy. And SANDBOX might be looking down that path for themselves if they can't turn this around. It's not 100% set right now. It's going to be them competing with Hanwha Life to try to avoid it. But they're competing not to.
I mean, that's just
not to lose.
just so fun, like competing for the not to be in the relegation spot,
Yeah, it's
fun but sad at the same time.
It's sad. It's stressful. It's difficult
For sure.
and it's unfortunate too because they have a bunch of names that you look at, and on
Exactly.
paper you were like, hey, this looks like a good team. On Fleek and Dove, really solid in 2019. Summit, obviously one of the better, if not one of the best top laners that we did have in 2019. Root from Jinair always looked like the new Teddy, and then of course Gorilla with his amazing career. But nothing is really coming together for SANDBOX. It's unfortunate to see. And they're still having miscommunication here in match 17, which is not what you do want to see. And KT are just bringing it to them. KT are the exact opposite. They started off really poorly, and then they totally turned their season around by good communication and clean League of Legends.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so clean game. Currently, perfect game by KT. They didn't lose anything. Even
True.
tower. Maybe lost
Maybe
2
even
headers.
plates.
Yeah, maybe some plates and headers, but it doesn't matter. Actually, I mean, that was so great that the SANDBOX had the first header, but the usage of header was just none. He didn't use header, I think. So
Non-existent. It didn't exist. The usage.
I mean, they're like Pokemon trainers, like collect the Pokemon and just save it, because they're
Don't
so
release
cute.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But unfortunately, they disappear if you don't use them after, what is it, 5 minutes? 4 or 5 minutes?
yeah,
I think the timer is. And they're just going to 2-man Baron, because why not? I mean, they're so far ahead at this point in time in this game. And Gaming is also going to come over. And look at SANDBOX. They just have no vision. Super late. Goes down so fast, and they had no idea.
I mean, that's just so sad. I mean, obviously they cannot fight, and their communication must be like, just give up Nashor, But if you give up everything, then how can you play the game? Of course, if you cannot fight, if your percentage of the winning is low, then you shouldn't fight, right? And give up something. But give up header. I mean, give up Drake, give up Nashor, and next one, give up inhibitor, and next one is give up Nexus,
Yeah.
And if you give up Nexus, you lose the game, basically. So I really want to see something from SANDBOX, even though, yes, obviously, the game is really hard. Item difference is so huge, and level difference is so huge. Everything is just making, showing that it's so impossible to win the team fight, but still, you can show some team comp power, like just Horn and Jarvan engaging at the same time, one-shotting the one target, and maybe some miracle farming by Corki and Israel. But right now they were just farming and a little bit of inting, and that's all, and they're just backing off. So
I appreciate your very frank statements, because it's not like we can avoid talking about it, right? It's happening right before our eyes. And for sure, SANDBOX finally now going to engage, as the CC will not work against Olaf, although they would try with all three.
oh man,
Dove is, what is going on? He actually just Valkyried in there.
I respect it.
He's like, yeah, game's over. Take my life. I do not care. And the tilt is real on the side of SANDBOX, and I think the game might just end here because they have Baron and teleport on Kuro. I think they're just going to try to end it here. And what a way to end the game. The Valkyrie into the enemy team, as Summit is desperately trying still, at least, to stop the push, as they decide, let's kill Root instead of ending the game for some reason.
Oh my god, that goal play was just one of the best play I ever seen in LCK.
Top 10
Top 10. I respect it.
highlights for sure.
He's like, no!
Okay, I'm alright. Okay. Yeah, the game's over.
He just died instantly after that, by the way.
On Fleek is like, yeah, well, I'm just gonna stand the
Oh my
base.
god. What
That's
a
it.
disaster.
Yeah, disaster of a game 2 here for SANDBOX. Okay. They get the kill.
Amy.
They got the 1 kill. And they didn't stop that sense of a perfect game, as GG 24 minutes, KT absolutely just dunk on SANDBOX here. As SANDBOX did look a little bit mental boom, a little bit tilted there in that game,
sure.
as nothing went right, and then they essentially just gave up. And that was the end. Match 83 ends in that fashion, KT bopping their opponent.
I'm not sure. We have to vote for POG, right? And I really don't know who to vote here, because personally, if it was just personal broadcast or stream by me, then I'm just gonna officially vote all the SANDBOX members for POG
Yeah.
for this game, for KT victory. But this is official broadcast. So
Maybe you
I
can
have
just say
to-
bot lane without saying which team it is, and then
Ah.
they'll give it to like the Yumi or the or the MF. But we all know what you mean, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I will give my POG to Yumi, actually,
Okay. Yeah.
because he got the first blood.
Good choice.
He got the first blood, you know? He actually woke up all of us because of the first blood. So he was the alarm clock for us. So I will just vote for Tushin.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, for sure. Good support play. Bloodthirsty support play that I'm sure what did
Oh, yeah?
get behind.
Blood Trail?
Yeah. I did vote for Sohan just because his teleport flank was really nice.
Oh,
like
yeah?
I don't know what else to vote on, right? There's like nothing else happened in the game. Like there's just SANDBOX literally just laying over and dying in that
Yeah, I
one
mean-
is what it looks like.
That sounds so fun, you know? Oh, yeah? He TP'd well and Q flashed? POG. Nothing special, but the game
played
was just
Aatrox,
so...
POG.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah. Kuro had some nice moments as well, using his soldiers to attack the enemies. And look at this. I mean, Gorilla goes in, and On Fleet's like, no, I'm going to kill the ward.
Yeah, I mean, this is POG moment.
And then he goes in. It's like,
Nice exhaust. I know, you know, like their conversation and communication in the game. I mean, they showed it, right? And they were like, Gorilla was like, "Look here, I'm hooking," and at the same time, Jarvan is like, "I'm hitting ward," and he was like, "Oh, okay," and yeah, and they were like so depressed by their play, like, "Oh man, I died too," and that play we shouldn't actually go there, and like all the communication we could hear was like so negative and so depressed. So, yeah.
League of Legends is that kind of game. It can be
For sure.
really, really frustrating at times, as I'm sure you're very clearly aware of, Blooded, having experienced it yourself at the top level. Like in a professional game where everybody's trying their absolute best but still failing.
Yeah, and I
it's just
respect
hard.
Dope here. Like,
Respect.
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 I mean, he can for sure survive this. He had
Yeah.
Flash and Valkyrie, but he's like, no way. This game is so boring, and this game is over already. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go in for
1% of chance of critting enemy, but he had Manamune not creating item, so he couldn't crit there. So unlucky there, but
Unlucky for sure.
Unlucky
Definitely
for sure.
very unlucky.
if he had 1% chance of crit with
Yeah.
the rune page, but it got changed. Nothing happened. Just really sad for the SANDBOX in general. They had awful performance today, especially against KT. Maybe we can say KT played so good, but also SANDBOX performed really bad today. So yeah, they're going to the ninth.
감사합니다. 요거.
Oh,
개꿀.
Kuro was like going in,
막타.
and he's like,
아,
Look.
까비. 나궁 한번 쓰게 해줘라, 타워에서.
and aiming is calling.
안
I just
그래도
want to
KT
use my
빵땡인데.
ulti
나
for
궁
fun.
한번 해줘.
이제 빵.
I just want to use my ulti for fun. I'm going. Use my ulti? Ah! What the heck?
내가 죽였어 괜찮아 내가
Ah! I got to kill his line.
복수했어
I revenged.
잠깐만
Oh wait.
뭐야?
Oh well.
All right, thank you for that. That's a great interpretation of what did happen there at the end, and you could tell they were having a lot of fun. For
Yeah.
every team that's super tilted and frustrated on one side, on the other side will be a team that's having an amazing amount of fun, and that's why people are still playing League of Legends to this day, because you get both. The ups and downs are fun in their own right. The highs are really high, and the lows can be really low. As KT, they're really feeling it right now. You can tell they're having a lot of fun. They're dominating their opponents, and they will be making it into playoffs after this win. I believe they do secure their spot 100%, which is great news for them, of course. Whereas for SANDBOX, I was talking about it before, one of the most difficult things to do as a team is from LCK playing in relegations or promotions. Like, obviously the challenger teams, it's a really awesome experience because they have a chance to make it into LCK, like APK from last season. But for the LCK teams going down, you're very frustrated, you're not having good communication with your teammates, nothing's going right, and then you have to win, or else, your position, your pro player standing could be heavily affected by your performance in the relegations. So
I mean, I just feel
Not
so
an easy
sad.
time.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel so sad for both organizations because those two organizations actually supported players so much. Like they showed up. They have really great gaming house compared to any other gaming team and those kind of things. But yeah, their result right now is kind of in the worst spot. So Hanwha and SANDBOX, both teams. I'm not sure. Like, they have to work on communication, map awareness, and so many things,
yeah.
So it's just so hard.
There's
So
a lot of
hard.
homework for all of those teams down there at the bottom, including Griffin, who are secured for relegations. We are going to see that Bono does pick up the player of the game. Honestly, it could have been any of the five. I really don't think. Just speaking from, the truth, I think any of these five players could have picked this up. Bono, he comes down here for the counter gank. I suppose that was good timing. He's able to chilling smite. So, congrats to him. And,
He's running in.
Yeah, he's running in.
Well deserved.
Wow, nice
Wow.
flash.
Nice flash. Flash dealt the damage.
Yeah.
Ogres.
Yeah. This is, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Remember this moment when he killed the Baron? Wow, great smite.
Wow.
This is like, it's like the production, they desperately want to show something. They actually showed the highlight of him smiting the Baron with
Smiting the
nobody
Baron is
attacking
the
him.
highlight, by the way.
Yeah, wow, poggers.
PogChamp.
4 out of 9. Big surprise. So let's see what else we had there. We had 2 people, I think, voted for Yuumi, 2 or 3. And then there was 1 person voting for aiming, and then 2 voting for mid. So all over the place, and we will be hearing from them here in the interview. So I'm going to hand it over to Ji-sun for the translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Ji-sun with the translation, and you guys are looking down at us. Oh, I guess KT is climbing up the ladder, and I think we definitely should look up to KT players right now. First of all, congratulations on locking in to the playoffs. You guys are the first place secured.
프로 100%를 확정지었기 때문에
Well, I finally won with Swan and Bono, and I kept my 100% making it into the playoffs in my career in LCK, so I'm really happy. I broke their jinx.
첫 플레이오프 이번에
Yeah, this is my playoffs for the first time. So I don't really feel it right now, but I want to climb up higher. Yeah, Kuro. Just like you mentioned, you made to playoffs for 9 splits in a row in LCK. So people even call you the playoffs contractor. And you also won some of the splits, and you were the runner-up in some splits as well. You are the living legend. How do you feel, Mr. Living Legend?
일단 딱히 그런
Well,
100%인 걸 처음 알았어요 여기 와서.
I wasn't really aware of the fact that I made it to the playoffs for 100%.
그건 아니지만 어쨌든 뭐
So,
뭐라 해야지?
what should I say it?
있어서 되게
Well,
기분이 좋긴
I'm really happy that I have some kind of stats in my career. So, Zillion Yumi, the booster comp was really awesome. And listening to the mic track, even the players were really amazed with the speed coming out of the movement speed buff. We prepared for it a little bit, but we were able to kind of pull it off, even in the Scream game, so we didn't really try it for a lot of games, but so that's why the players weren't really aware how fast they are with the boost. So I kind of just told them, you are fast enough to chase the players. Yeah, so today was a really important day for KT Rolster, and I guess you guys prepared a lot. And Bono, you looked a little bit controlled or calm after you got the win yesterday, but you look so satisfied today. Well, yesterday I wanted to play calm. So after game, it was really hard to realize that I won the game, but today I feel different. I feel much happier. Yeah, Bono, this is your first playoff in your pro player career, including Swan. Swan was on a squad in junior when they made it to playoffs in 2016, but he was not the starting player. So what does Swan say about this? I think Swan also doesn't really realize the fact that he made it to playoffs. It feels so surreal, but maybe he'll be happy later. And we want to mention set. That was 100% pick ban rate card, but this time around it went through the pick and bans and no one actually picked it. Well, I want to save my words for our playoff strategy. Yeah, KT Rolster, they're so good at interview, making it so interesting. Last time, you guys didn't actually tell us what was the secret advice from Hirai, and this time around, you guys are keeping a secret about sets. And Kuro, you also, in the beginning of the split, you had an interview saying, maybe I got old, but I want to prove that I'm not dead yet. So, how do you feel right now? Do you think you have proven yourself?
늙은이도 할 수 있습니다.
Old guys can do it. That's what I want to say.
선수들 동료들도 좀 인정하는 고개 끄덕임이 좀 있었던 것 같아요. 자, 그리고 그 펜타 관련된 내용으로 또
And also, I want to ask you about pentakill, aiming.
야, 1경기 때 펜타 달라고 막 소리를
He was like, just shouting out for the penta. He was like tank the
이거는 그
Nexus, and then Soan actually went into the fountain. So is it true that aiming is on top of the ranking in KT Rolster?
아 그러니까 그런 게 아니고 이제
I mean, that's not what it actually was about. Soan always sacrifices for the teammates. He always trusts his teammates. So as soon as he heard that call, he just went in. Okay, I'll tank it.
아껴주는 쿠로 선수 이겼고 보노 선수는 어떻게
Bono,
생각하세요?
what's your thought on this? Tell us about the ranking or the order in KT Rolster.
저는 좀 일단 좀 낮은
Soan
편인 것 같고 아무래도
is definitely on the lower rank,
분명히 높지 않나.
and the damage carries are on top.
본인은 낮은 편이지만 최하위는 안 얘기했고
So,
조금 높다고 얘기했잖아요.
the carries are on top.
얘기해요.
What about Soan?
아무래도 가장 힘들어하는 포지션에 있지 않나.
I want to say absolutely on the bottom, maybe.
이런 느낌이 좀 있었네요. 자 이렇게 해서 양 팀이 이제 또 플레이오프 진출 이제 확정 지은 상황에서
So
다음
you
경기를 기다리게
clinched
됐는데요.
playoffs,
팬 여러분들께서 KT 사실
and I guess KT
처음
fans are
생각하시면 지금 정말
so
꿈같이
happy
느꼈을
about this
거예요.
result, especially thinking of
그리고
the
그때 그
beginning of the
연패 썼을 때
split.
당시에 연패를 끊었을 그
You guys
순간도
had a lot
그걸
of
기억하시는지 모르겠는데 그런
thick
얘기
and
있었거든요.
thin, you know, you
진짜
5-match
안
losing streak
나오시다.
and then coming
야,
back
지금
to
우리요?
winning streak.
막 여기서만 벗어나고 싶다 이런 얘기가 있었는데 지금은 플레이오프를 갔거든요. 4위.
In the end, you guys finished on the 4th place.
뭐 손꼽아서 기다리시니까 팬
I know a lot of
여러분들
KT fans would have been waiting for this moment. So, is there any message you would like to tell your fans?
1차적 목표인 플레이오프에
Yeah,
진출했는데
that was our first
이제
goal,
1차
going to the
목표를
playoffs. So
이뤘으니까
we made it.
다음 더 높은 곳으로 올라가기 위해서 더
So we
열심히
will keep
하겠습니다.
up the hard work to make it even higher.
리빙 레전드의 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
Any word from Living Legend?
시즌 시작 전에
Before
저희
the split?
KT 순위를 8,
Well,
9위로
a lot of
많이
people
예측을
actually put
하셨었는데 그때
us
제가
KT Rolster on the 8th or 9th place in LCK. I was like, these guys know nothing about games, and I'm pretty happy that I was able to live up to my word. While Templar and Dongsun say they're actually not guilty about the ranking before the split, they never put KT Rolster on the bottom of the ladder. But Kuro was definitely sad about some of the experts putting KT Rolster on the bottom of the rank. However, they were able to turn these things around and they locked into playoffs. So this will be the end of the interview with Kuro Bono from KT Rolster, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you, Ji-sun, as always, for the wonderful interview, translation, interpretation of the words and thoughts of our pro gamers here, from Boomer Kuro
Boomer Kuro.
to new guy Bono. Yeah, they were just making fun a little bit of his age, but Kuro brings that veterancy into this KT lineup, and he has really brought his team together to create a really special team so far that has made it into playoffs. So shout out to them.
Yeah, I mean, today their performance was just way too clean compared to bottom team, considering as a bottom team, SANDBOX obviously. So yeah, let's see the standings right now. Wild card confirmed, locked in for KT, and SANDBOX falling into the relegation spot.
Yeah, and it's not 100% locked in for relegation, but when you go 5-12, it's not looking good. Let's say that at least. But as you can see, mathematically, we have put up the listings on the side for what is set in stone, and KT has at least made it into the wildcard match. So we call it the wildcard match because the 4th versus 5th place teams play a best of 3 before the best of 5s do start, between the winner of that and the 3rd place team. But it's essentially still part of the playoff run. So they have made it into playoffs, at least the beginning of the playoffs. And tomorrow, guys, by the way, Dragon X up against Afrika, and then Hanwha Life up against Gen G. I feel like this could be a couple of blowouts if Afrika doesn't play consistently, because Dragon X have been looking so strong, and so have Gen G. So we will have to see if those underdogs can overcome a couple of our top-level teams here in Korea.
Yeah. And the second matchup, Hanwha Life versus Gen G. Today's Hanwha's performance and fan picks both were really sad. I mean, let's be honest, it was really awful to watch. So I just want to see more calm and collected, all from the coaching staff and players, because ban picks were pretty bad and even in-game play was bad. So if they want to have a chance to get out of the relegation spot, then they really have to step up, even if it's one day and not even 24 hours maybe, but still, you know, they have to focus and they should get some comeback for the not to be in the relegation spot here.
Absolutely. So it's not going to be easy, but they need to try to fight their way out of the relegation. And the music has started, which means that our show is about to end. So I just want to thank everybody for watching once again. And thank you, Wadid, once again for being a god and speaking English and casting with me tonight. I'm sure everybody loved it. And we love you all, guys. We will see you next time. Have a good night.
See you next time. Good night, everyone.